What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today's video is going to be brief, but I kind of want to reinforce something that I've said in many videos in the past. I'm just going to try to word it a little bit differently. I know I try to preach to you guys to not be symptom focused, right? To not focus on the product of your anxiety, to work anxiety from the inside out instead of the outside in. But I guess an easier way of saying this is stop working anxiety backwards, right? We're so focused on the product of our anxiety. Something causes our anxiety. For many of us, it's a collection of things. In my life, it was a collection of things. It wasn't just one ordeal. And then I have a panic attack, and then I have symptoms, and I have the irrational thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, the product. And the product of anxiety, it's hard to deal with, right? And the problem is we start to focus on the product. We become symptom focused. Symptom this, symptom that. How do I get rid of these symptoms? Instead of really focusing on the motor that's causing the symptoms. And I know fixing that problem is easier said than done, and it seems like it's an easier approach to just, what's a quick little grounding technique I can use, or how do I make my back stop hurting, or how do I get rid of this chest pain? But the truth is if you don't shut down the motor that's causing it, the symptom's gonna persist, or in many cases, your symptoms will change. Because even whenever I got past a certain set of symptoms where I was like, okay, I don't have a heart problem. It only took me 2.5 years to figure that out. Since I didn't fix the root causes of my anxiety, I would have a different set of symptoms after that, and then I'd go into that vicious cycle, and then my symptoms would change over years, right? I don't want you to be stuck in that cycle. We have to start putting in the work to figure out, first of all, what caused our anxiety. Anxiety isn't just about symptoms. It's not just random. You didn't randomly just get this. Something caused your subconscious to get scared, to be fearful. Now you're getting the product, which is actually a message from your subconscious saying, look, I'm scared. I need help. You got to fix something. See, anxiety is a sign that you need to grow. I can't tell you what that area is for you. It was many things in my life. I had to grow to live the rest of my life. And your subconscious, I'm telling you, it's going to be stubborn, which is a good thing. Honestly, anxiety can be a blessing in disguise. It's not going to just stop telling you that you need to change until you actually change. And that's a collection of things. There's so many things that goes into recovery. But I encourage you to first go back to when you first started to notice the symptoms, but go back even further, the days, weeks, and even months. For some of you, this has been building up for years. And start to do a little investigating on things that were happening in your life. Sometimes even if you think something is good for you, your subconscious can still get scared. That could be an upcoming wedding. It could be a lifestyle change, or a move, or a job change. Obviously something extreme would be like the pandemic, right? These things can scare your subconscious. Even things that we wouldn't think. Things that we're excited for. If you're getting married, most of the time you're excited about that, right? But it's a huge change. Your subconscious isn't used to that. It's nervous about the upcoming change with that, or a job change or anything. So I'm just giving you some examples. For others, for me, for instance, I kept on just pinning it on, man, I had too much to drink that night, then I had a panic attack, and then I've been hyper-focused and sensitive ever since. But then whenever, I had my anxiety for a few years, and I really started to think about that time period, the weeks leading up to it, I was starting to become very conscious of my heart rate. I was smoking a lot of cigarettes back then, so I started to notice my heart rate. So that was something that fed into it. I had not been living the life that I needed to be living for actually a couple years before that. So there was a lot that went into it, things that happened in my childhood, that added on to it. It was a collection. So don't just pin it down on just one thing. I think that's where a lot of you are going wrong, because how depressing is it to think like, oh man, I drank too much, now I'm screwed, Well, how can I fix that? Just stop drinking, you know what I mean? Some of you, it was with marijuana. I've talked to so many people, coached so many people where marijuana was the first time that they had this DPDR or their first panic attack. But there's another problem. There's negative thinking. There's a problem with catastrophizing. See, I started to go back and look at my younger years, whenever I was a child, I was like, man, there's so many instances where, it could have been an easy foreshadowing of things to come. So do that investigation, work on yourself, make a list of things that you think fuel your anxiety. Some of this can come down to just personality traits that you need to work on. Maybe there's anger issues, self-love issues, self-doubt, not having trust in other people. Maybe you're somebody that has a really big heart. You give, but you never receive. I'm telling you guys, loneliness, these things add up. These things add up. So you got to start working on those. I can't tell you what your individual deal is or your collection of things that fuel your anxiety disorder. You got to do that for yourself. All right. But I hope you got value out of this. If you've watched this far, go down below and I want you to comment in all caps, don't work anxiety backwards. Don't work anxiety backwards. Please hit like on this video if you got some value. I know this was pretty broad. I'll probably break this down into a video series or something, and we'll talk about this more in depth. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Remember, if you haven't tried my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, I'm going to put that down below in the description, in the first pinned comment. Hell, it's always there. Go check that out. Let it be a part of your recovery process. It's helping so many freaking people, and I want you to be a part of that as well. It's going to be my blueprint on what I did from the moment I woke up until I went to sleep. What I did during my day to help me recover from anxiety 100%. There's so many things that go into it. What we talked about today, getting down to the root causes of your anxiety, either the root cause or causes for many of you, instead of just working anxiety backwards, symptoms, the product of anxiety. But there's so many other things that go into recovery, and I want you guys to have that blueprint. So check that out if you haven't. There's many other resources in the description, online therapy. There are Facebook groups down there that you can join and be a part of those. My Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, my Snapchat, all that good stuff is down below in the description. But guys, I love you all, and until next time, keep fighting.